spiritual prose, I'd imagine there's hundreds of years of looking, yeah? I don't know how much more it will take to convince you it's the looking that's the problem, yeah? I mean, really, how many examples do you need? Yeah. And what happens if that falls on you? It pauses you, and then suddenly the looking stops, and then there's the seeing, you know, which is just looking cast in time, really. So when the time gets chilled, and that whole drive, we don't even know it, but it's like we're being moved by a dry current called time, yeah? We're always, always, always looking, yeah? And that's, to me, looking is seeing in time, yeah? Seeing in timelessness is nothing to look for, but here, there's a lot of looking for. And in a sense, running into that, some people have told us, like St. Francis, what's looking is what you're looking for. Yeah. So all the looking for, he saw it as, it's looking for what's looking. So obviously, the failure of the system was just explained in one sentence, 7 words. He just told you the whole enchilada. Yeah. What you're looking for is what's looking. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, where do you go from there? Yeah, right. So, you know, you may not believe him, or you may like to choose what you like about St. Francis, but he lays it on you, because what's looking is what you're looking for. And then, all right, the seeker is the sought. So, the seeker is the sought, yeah? So, that would undermine seeking, obviously, yeah? Because the seeking is based on a premise that you're something and then you're looking for something else. Yeah, that's the drive of seeking. So he just pulled that rug out from underneath us. Hey, the seeker, oh yes, I've got a huge resume and everything like that, is the sought. Yeah. So you've been on your own retreat for fucking 5 years, 20 years. I mean, you've already succeeded. You're the sought is the seeker. Yeah. So what would be the obscuring agent to seeking? Obviously. I mean, how can you miss it after a while? Yeah. And so to me, these are warnings that put on brakes. They're like brakes to spiritual seeking. And to me, some forms of it are like an addiction. Yeah. These statements are like speed bumps, like spiritual speed bumps. They stop the forward motion with the hopes that the system, you know, and then it stops. And then when looking stops, that's seeing. Yeah, that's what it is. When it's out there through time, yeah, that's looking. Yeah, and the looking is blind to the seeing. You can't use looking to find seeing, because you are what's seeing. You can use looking to find almost anything that you're not, but you can't apply it to what you are. See, this is the fundamental little rub that's difficult to get, because we've assumed for a long time, we haven't, the mental state's been playing, you know, this whole little thing going on, and it's been assuming that it knows what it's been, and it's hoping it's not going to be what it thinks it's going to be. And therefore it goes, I was Paul, that's for sure. I will be Paul, or why would I be fucking worrying about this stranger for 30 years? I will be Paul, therefore I am Paul. So it lays on I am, yeah? But it doesn't, see, the I am is there. It's self-revealing, basically, yeah? It's just I am. But the idea of Paul, to sit on the I am, it has to go I was, I will be, therefore I am. That's the mental logic. It says I was Paul, I definitely will be Paul, or why would I be planning so much for fucking this imaginary character, yeah? And therefore I was, I will be, therefore I am. And then suddenly the I am now is used to infer that I am implies Paul, which it doesn't imply Paul whatsoever. Yeah, I am is that I am. It's not I am is that Paul or Jim or Mary. It's I am is that I am. That's that, yeah? So, you know, you're doing your thing, and what's beautiful about any system is it will fail you. That's its value, yeah? So you attempt to use yourself, to find yourself, and you've done it for so fucking long, you're like a tinderbox ready to blow, and then maybe you fall upon a book or one sentence in a book, or you hear a message and it goes, you know, there's like an aha, the thing triggers, yes? Because you already know the failure of the system, but you're trying to get out of the system as the system, yeah? That's the dilemma. Yeah. We run into it in recovery where there's a statement, self can't get out of self, which is an observation that people who've been trying to get out of self as self came up with. They said, listen, we've done it way before you're even going to start doing it, and we're going to tell you to save yourself a lot of time and trouble, self can't get out of self. So what I'm not can't get out of what I'm not. It's wanting to get out of what I'm not makes it more of what I am. Yes, seemingly, yes? If you don't see it, you're looking from it. And if you're looking from it, you're going to look a long way. Yeah, and every step of the way is going to be blindness. That's the point. If this isn't seen, there's no point what goes after. You know, if someone came here and they was brilliant as a fucking sun, and their pores were glistening, you know, fucking prashad was dripping out of them, and this and that, as there was a sense that they were a noun, I don't give a shit. Because all there is verbing. I don't care how great the verbing looks, if it's taking itself to be a noun, I'm fucking not impressed. It doesn't mean squat. It doesn't, yeah? This is just seeing what you're not. And in seeing what you're not, come on in, my friend. Grab a chair here. It's just seeing what we're not. And in seeing what we're not, you get a hit of what you are, which is what? The seeing of what you're not. That's what you are. Yeah? You can't turn the seeing on itself. If you think you can have an experience of what you are, I think you're mistaken. That's all. If you think you can understand what you are, it's pointless. If you think you can know what you are, I don't believe that either. But I do believe you can know what you're not. I do believe you can study what you're not. I do believe you can understand what you're not. And in understanding what you're not, you'll get a sense, I'm not that. And what you'll find out is what you are. Instead of trying to find out what you are as what you're not, you'll find out you're not that from what you are. Yeah, the horse will be in front of the cart. Once it seems to be that move, it says it's always been that way. The cart was never in front of the horse. It's never been. It's just been a weird way we looked at it. Yeah. So the correction, when the correction is made, it tells you there was no need for a correction. All that you believed was so has never been so. Yeah. Paul was never disconnected. Paul was never connected. Paul wasn't close and then did something fucking crazy and then was far away. All of that is not what we are. Yeah. We can't be approached. We are that. Every approaching it would be it approaching itself. Yeah. For that to occur, it has to take itself to be something else. Yeah. For what I am to approach what it is, it has to start from the point of what I'm not. That's the only way it makes sense to approach it. The only way it makes sense for the Buddha to seek the Buddha is if the Buddha is taking itself to be Paul. Paul, it makes a lot of sense to seek the Buddha, and usually it will seek the Buddha through Buddhism or something, yes? It makes total sense, yeah? So Paul is going to seek Buddhism, try to acquire some traits or characteristics of what he thinks the Buddha and maybe the Buddha alone had, and there's the go, yeah? It makes total sense. But if Paul is the Buddha, it doesn't make any sense for the Buddha to use the Buddha to find the Buddha. Yeah? So there's a great master, Huang Po. Let's say he was doing a talk like this, and he's looking at everybody, maybe, sees Sharon, sees the dog, sees this, sees that, yeah? And then he goes, hey, Bill, you can't use the Buddha to seek the Buddha. Now, obviously, he wasn't talking to Bill. that would be not a helpful thing for Bill to hear. He sees Bill, but he's talking through Bill to the Buddha. He doesn't see Bill, really. He sees this, but he sees the Buddha. So he wants, basically the message, the whole trick of the message is not to be claimed by what you're not, to get through the defenses that's looking. I've been trying to understand, writing notes and shit like that. That's all the obscuring fucking agent. It's trying to get to the message through that to the Buddha. So when the Buddha hears, hey Buddha, you can't use yourself to find yourself, it makes complete fucking perfect sense. Yeah. Instantaneously, it realizes, what's up with that, let's say, yeah? And so then it sees what it's not, yeah? It sees, oh, as Paul, it makes total sense to seek the Buddha, but as the Buddha, it makes no sense. So Hawaiian Po didn't see Paul as Paul, he saw the Buddha there, because the message of you can't use the Buddha to seek the Buddha would only be appropriate to the Buddha. There's no other person or thing that message would be appropriate to, would it? So he was talking to the Buddha, which was in the hopes that in this situation we're hoping to do the exact same thing. We're trying to throw the message over what you call you, because that is the defense system. You're like that, you know, the Buddha with 1,000 arms, you have a mitt on each hand, you're fucking catching the message, thinking you got the message, this and that. That's the fucking obscuring agent. Yeah? So we try to overwhelm Paul so that one of the fucking messages can get through to what? The Buddha. And then the Buddha hears it and goes, what? Find out. See what happens. But I'll tell you something, you're not going to waste one more second looking for what can't be found. No fucking way. And things are going to be put to rest. I mean, stopped. Seriously. Because you'll realize the utter failure of what you've been occupied as. This is what happened with me in recovery. Oh, it was so beautiful in a way. I was reading, there was a sentence in recovery, and I was leading these workshops, and so I read it a lot, yeah, for 16 years. And this one day I saw it in a different light. And it says, being convinced, which means to believe with certainty. A present tense condition, yeah? Being convinced, yeah? That's self. And the idea of self, to me, is the ownership of actions, yeah? So let's say they're seeing, the seeing is used to imply the seer, yeah? Feeling, that the feeling is used to imply the feeler. So the mental state claims the verbing, the feeling, to imply a noun, yeah? So they're seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, touching. The mental state claims the seeing to imply a seer seen, a hearer heard. That's duality, yes? You can see it. Everyone talks about duality. That's the act of duality, yeah? They're seeing, it's turned into seer seen, yeah? So the emphasis goes on what? The seer and the seen, and you seem to lose the sense of seeing, yeah? You're now suddenly, instead of seeing life as happening, it's being interpreted as life's happening to me as a noun, yeah? A noun. So suddenly, here's the verb, a mental state claims the verb, produces a noun out of it, and the noun is presupposed before the verb, and now you think you have a lot to do with shit you have nothing to do with. And the language supports that role, yeah? Every simple, just nonchalant, the knee goes out in the ocean. How do you say it to people? I hurt my knee. It sounds like you went out there with a hammer and fucking hit the knee. You know, it sounds like you went out to hurt yourself. I didn't go out to hurt my knee. Yeah, I observed the knee went out, basically. But the language is, I hurt my knee. The language is, oh, I did that, I did this. It's just the bonding. Why not see the simplicity of it? Yeah? Do you think the knot is going to find out how to loosen itself? All of its pursuits to loosen it is the bigger knot. Yeah? This is what Ramana says. If you like Ramana or not, he has a very simple, clear statement. He says it in a lot of ways. He says, hey, there's a presupposing of a non-existent thing, quote unquote, being existent, yeah? And then wanting to get salvation for the non-existent thing. Makes sense. If you thought you were existing and things weren't going well, you'd like to fucking get salvation for yourself. Yeah? Sounds good. It says, but in this case, you're trying to get salvation for a non-existent thing. So he says, if this is the case, your spiritual practices themselves are reinforcing the non-existent thing. How can they destroy it? First of all, you can't destroy a non-existent thing. Any application of weapons of mass destruction to a non-existent thing just made the fucking thing real. Yeah? Yeah? Yes. So here, yeah, the presupposing, perfect word, pre, because pre means before. So that which comes after, which is being supposed, is it's put before. Yeah? So this idea of Paul, the idea of the doer, arises after the doing is claimed. There's doing, just like supposedly Buddha said, events happen, deeds are done, yet there's no individual doer thereof. Yeah? What? Yeah, events happen, deeds are being done all freaking day, yet there's no individual doer thereof. Yeah? Real spiritual message is warnings. They warn us about the pitfalls of trying to use what we're not to seek what we are. All their attention is to be put on what you're not. Check out what you're not. And when you see you're not that, then all of its agendas and everything like that, you lose interest in it. And you gain interest in what? Find out. Maybe right now. Yeah. And you'll know the problem from the solution. When you get relief from the problem, you'll know what it was. Yeah? And I'm telling you, it's rooted in this little move. Yeah? We're using what we're looking for to find what we're looking for. You can paint it, it's sort of like in Zen, you can paint legs on the snake or lipstick on the pig, it's still a pig and a snake, yeah? You're using what you're looking for to look for. What would that, and then the impossibility of what you're not stopping is the second little radical rude awakening. You realize when what you're not tries to stop being what you're not, that's a whole lot of what you're not, yeah? And when it sets out on a course, I want to lose interest in myself, that's a whole lot of interest in the self. Yes? So there's warnings that you can see every little pitfall that occurs, and maybe you see 5 or 6 of them. Maybe they could spin out to 80, but I figure after 5 or 6, you should be able to picture what the fuck's going on. Yeah? And in seeing what the fuck's going on, it moves to a disarming, not a call to arms. The last thing you're fucking gonna do is move towards something. You're just gonna stop and see what happens, yeah? See how the chips fall, because you're on the main card that you'd like to escape from in the deck. Every hand you play has you in it, yeah? And that can't extract itself. The card, the joker can't extract itself from the card, the deck. That's the beauty of it. So what happens? Just see what you're not, yeah? When you hear a description of how what you're not gets established, and it sort of rings true, it's like being in a spiritual shoe store, the shoe is fit, wear it, yeah? And see what happens when things stop. And all the shine of specialness gets rubbed off, yeah? You truly stop, really stop, yeah? The system of selfing can't break its own core, source code. It's going to keep trying to get out of itself as itself. It's just going to change vehicles. For me, it was reading, then drugs, then spirituality. When that failed, back to drugs, then back to spirituality, thinking. But it just can't stop. Yeah. You can try to convince it, cajole it, fucking make it a house pet. It's just gonna keep thinking, oh, another vehicle, and just keep trying different modalities. And then if the modalities don't work, then slap on a radical, extreme fucking version and shit like that, and on and on and on it goes. But self's not getting out of self. The getting out of self is based on you were never in self. That's where it is. The freedom is prior to the bondage. It's not another experience that comes after the experience of bondage. It's prior to the bondage. You see, there was never a one to be bound. It doesn't mean bondage wasn't going on. You don't get out of jail free as what you're not. Yeah? But you see it to the point that it's established. Yeah? In other words, like when I was I got struck sober, and the biggest influence in this life, I would say, was addiction and alcoholism, since I was about, 12 actively, but before then. And one day, on a regular day at the office, something intervened and just stopped the fucking head. And it downloaded something, not to here, but to what we call in AA the innermost, which is not of the thought system. And it was a simple, like a headline, CNN newsflash, I'm fucked. Yeah. Now, I've been fucked for quite a while, but it seemed like news to me. And then the next thing it told me, and I'm not managerial quality. And I was just reading a thing from Ramana that you could put in AA, big book, and everyone would see it as AA. It's a perfect thing. It says there's only two things you can do. If you find that you do not have the ability to make this life work, that you need a higher power to direct you, that's one way. Or you investigate the cause of your misery. And the cause of your misery is being identified as something that you're not. And people believe they have to keep working. A lot of work happens to you when you're doing nothing. I swear to God. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta know when to stop. Yeah. When too much is too much. Something that may have been a service can be a disservice. It's based on what's before it, the mind. Yeah. And that which was thinking seemingly to be liberating at one point is now defining you more and more. Yeah. And this idea of self-investigation there's a fine line between that and self-fucking obsession. So we share it simply. The main movement of what you're not here, and it's just an activity, and its activity is clothed in the mental processes, is claiming. So consciousness is occurring, or that's whatever you want to call it, and it's having 5 sense gates that are causing experiences, and then reviewing of experiences and shit, and everything like that. And it's seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, touching. And if you look at it in 5 minutes, you'll see you don't really have any volition concerning it. If your eyes are open, you're going to see what's appearing. Yeah? You could vow, I'm never going to see a bird. And if you're looking out a window, a bird goes by, you saw the bird. Or if you hear someone talk about feelings, they go, I didn't want to feel that. So the one who had an opinion of the feeling came after the feeling. The feeling was noted, and then the opinion about it came after. I didn't want to feel that, which is very frustrating because the assumption is, as the feeler, you should have some say over what you're feeling. But constantly, the truth fucks that story up because you're feeling a lot of shit you don't want to feel. And it's not making any sense to that which comes after because it's been implied to be before, which lends itself some kind of authority over what comes after. But it doesn't come before, it's after. That's why it's constantly running into the experience of powerlessness, because it's exerting power it doesn't have. It thinks it can change shit. It loves to review. If only I didn't step out on that, street and get run over by a car. But you did. It can go over it, over and over and over it again, but it doesn't have any power. So it's something that's playing God with our God juice, really. Yeah, that's what it's doing. It's talking to you all day, telling you you should be doing more, or this shit, or that shit. And it has us jumping like commands, It's slavery, really. We're enslaved to a mental state. Our attention and interest, which could be enriching our night, has been sold to yesterday and tomorrow. Most of us are more affected by what's not happening than what's happening. That's unbelievable. It really is. It's an unbelievable miracle we're performing. We're making shit out of nothing all day. It's incredible. What would happen if the idea of a thinker was also seen as a thought? Just one of many thoughts going on and on and on and on. Because that's what it is. The idea that it's a thought of being the thinker, and then the thought of being a thinker separates from the thinking, as if it has some fucking power over it. It's a thought, yeah? So what would be better? Try to control all the thinking, or see if there's a thinker? I don't know. It seems to be much quicker, yeah? Or I want to just have good feelings all fucking day. Maybe you'd lose interest in that if you weren't the feeling. I'm just saying. So there's only 5 nuts that you can loosen instead of thousands of fucking, nail guns going off at every minute trying to fucking learn how to control this shit. You just entertain the possibilities. These nuts aren't as tight as I thought they were. Maybe they're not true. Maybe it's rooted in a huge assumption that's constantly being supposed and then in time presupposed. See, this is the trick in time. The magic trick is of time. Because we're conditioned to believe time is linear. We think there was what we call a past, and now it's now, inexorably moving to the future. The mental state knows better. So it uses that which comes after and implies it to be before. Yeah? The verb gets claimed, the noun is made, the noun is presupposed, and now the noun thinks it's doing all the verbing. Yeah? Now you're in complete dualism, which is the mother and father of duality. You're not, the head is. You're just there, as always. Yeah. When the head moves, you don't. When the head contracts, you don't. When the head expands, you don't. You don't. You're none of those fucking movements. There's tons of movements in the space that you are. Yeah? To keep believing the language when it tells you, oh, you're going here, oh, you're going here, oh, yeah. It's like you're following fireflies, like this. You have no basis, you have no center. You're moving through there and then all day. You're in a state of anxiety, which is just a reaction to false evidence appearing real. The narration is constantly providing a lot of false evidence, and it appears real to what? What's real? What's real gives the meaning to false evidence as if it's real. And now you're scared shit and there's no apparent threat. I meet people who their whole day, let's say July 28th, is totally destroyed by August 15th. They believe something's going to happen on August 15th that overrides their whole experience of July 28th. Isn't that insane? I mean, seriously. Wouldn't you love to see the schematics of that? How could that fucking possibly happen? How could what's not happening override what's happening? I mean, I can't imagine how it could. It could only override it if what's happening, entertained it. We are what's happening. We are it. We're the dreaming here. We're not in a dream. We're the dreaming. Yeah? And we're forgetting we're the dreaming by being identified as the dreamt, seemingly. It's appearing to the dreaming that it's the dreamt. only through time. Yeah? It never happened, never will happen, but it seems to be happening. It's appearing to what's real that this is happening. But like we said, if you went to bed last night and you had a dream, and the dream was 300 years of being, usually you're never a cobbler or a street cleaner, you're like a princess or fucking, you know, always this, 300 years, and then you had a dream the next night of just taking a gulp of a soda. It took the exact same amount of time to wake up from both dreams. Time has no fucking relevance without you being the subject of it. It really doesn't, yeah. You can wake up from a 400-year-old epic in the same amount of time it takes you to wake up from a hiccup, yeah. That shows how much time has relevance. It has complete relevance in the dreaming, but it doesn't have any relevance on the dream, yeah. Yeah, so I'm stoked. I haven't changed for how many years now, because I really truly believe when this thing occurs, it told me, without seeing this little robbery and seeing yourself as the thief and the policeman, all of it, there's no point to go on, because it's just going to duplicate the mistake. That's all. The more steps that are taken seemingly towards a thing, or really trying to move away from this, it's just going to be a shadow every step of the way. That's how I saw it. And I've been open to new downloads, and I've never gotten another one. I just saw how this thing's manufactured. I don't give a shit about someone describing me what I am. That's when I first went to satsangs. I saw it as a mistake then, I see it as a mistake now. Someone's describing what I am to what I'm not doesn't go fucking anywhere. It actually confuses what I'm not even more. Because now it has more things to beat itself up with. You know what I mean? You're the brilliant light. Really? Brilliant light? Jesus Christ. And you just watch what happens at these talks, just to see what the mental state can do. It takes a beautiful word called enlightenment and produces suffering out of it. When one of the definitions of enlightenment is cessation of all suffering. Yet, in the situation we're in, being seemingly identified as what we're not will produce suffering out of enlightenment, or the lack thereof, or the losing of it, yes? How many more examples do you need? You're fucked. Hallelujah. Really? You're fucked. I don't care. You have the brightest loving gaze. I don't give a shit. It doesn't mean fucking shit. It doesn't. Don't be fooled by phenomena. They're going to disappear like everything else has. They're nice fireworks, but I wouldn't stake a claim to it. Yeah. This is just dog shit awareness. Just rest there. Yeah. Why are you so afraid of being fucking ordinary? Yeah. You know, we talk, and then after a sentence, you know it's full of shit, don't you? It just, I can see it. It just starts dropping. The words have a little bit of oomph, but after a few sentences, they're just dropping. As soon as they come out, it's like, just pick them up and go. You know, fuck. Like a baking bowl. It's, you know what I mean? You don't have to try to convince me. I have no interest in spirituality. I don't. I swear to God, I stay away from it like a plague. I swear to God, it is so fucking dangerous what's happening. Yeah. They should have a committee that restricts someone's fucking retreat attendance to, you know, they should have reviews, really. I mean, if you've had 30, fuck, you know what I mean? At least at a bar, they cut you off at 2 in the morning. Hey, you know, I've had enough, bro. Spirituality will keep on, you know, fucking, there's not going to be an intervention. No one's going to say, put that fucking book down. No. Sign up for the next fucking thing. It'll go on and on and on and on and on. And it's fine if, you know, there's a lot of qualities to it. But let's say what we're improving is the brain and the body. Let's make it clear. We're not improving spirit. Spirit doesn't need any improving. We're not being aware of awareness. Awareness is all there is. So why would it get off about being aware of itself? It's completely aware. It's just what is. Yeah. And then you could say, you know, instead of a retreat, call it a vacation. Most of them now are. No one's having a 10-day retreat in Newark, New Jersey. Fucking no way. It's all Costa Rica and shit. Yeah. I went on tons of 10-day retreats on cocaine. I got a whole lot more out of them than all of what you got out of. At least I got a rush. And I know what produced it, cocaine. I felt the spirit. Yeah. Well, I'm really happy to be here. I love the message, man, because the amount of time the message is needed is very little. Because there's no need for a message, obviously. So it's sort of like that Mission Impossible. If you decide to go on the mission, the whole thing, that's exactly what it's like. It just, there's no need for a solution. Because you'll see it's an activity. It's a mental activity. It has maybe 80 years of activity, not gonna last forever. Yeah, it winds down a lot. It does. It doesn't produce as many thoughts as you get a little bit older. It doesn't. It winds down. You can almost hear it. It's just, it only has so much breath, and it's gonna fucking dissipate. Yeah. And you're there. Before, during, after. You're gonna outweigh it. You're gonna outweigh it. You can't lose. Yeah. You are that which you're looking for. Do you have a feeling of that or not? If you don't, then keep looking for it. But the looking for it is going to lead you to that realization. You are that which you've been looking for, because the looking for it will fail you. It will. Sooner or later, it's going to fail you. That's its success. Its success is to fail you, so that you'll get left with your own devices and realize they're not your devices. Yeah? You'll see what you're not, and in seeing what you're not, you'll get a sense of what you are. And then what's the appropriate reaction? A rest. Yeah? Then you have that thing that we used to have, that new book we have on having never left. So it's a thing off of a yogic mantra, which is gone, gone, gone to the other shore, you know, whatever that is, awakening. And then upon arriving at the other shore, on having never left. So let's say you get on having never left, the gone, gone, gone is going to be gone, go, maybe. It's probably going to stop at the first go, numb with that. And then because you got it, in a sense. Why would I want to seek the other shore upon arriving, realizing I'm already there? Was it that exciting? I'd just rather rest on the other shore now. So if you flip it and just put on having never left, there's no need for the other sentences. Just like in all the stories of the head, it's once upon a time. If you could replace that one, having never left, it would change the density of the book. Yeah? Could you imagine starting your day on having never left? Fucking far out. Yeah? Instead of hoping to arrive through the activities of that day. Totally, completely different modus operandi. Yeah? That's a possibility. When you see the futility of using yourself to find yourself, that's what happens. You realize on having never left. Yeah? Oh, you have that jacket. I like that. I was thinking, I like that shawl thing.
That's your jacket.
Yeah. So any questions? good to see you, bro. Happy New Year. Yeah.
That's why he likes it.
Paul,
Yeah.
you said something, a lot of times I've heard, and I think I'm hearing it differently today. You said, that thing about regret, like, oh, if I hadn't stepped out of the door, or out of the door to the traffic and get run over, but you did. And I've always heard that as like, but you did, you made that mistake. But really, wouldn't it be better phrase like, but that's what happened? Like, because it's not like, that was.
Well, you could go there in the particulars. I'm not using it for any.
Yeah.
I'm using it just to express something.
But I always heard it like, yeah, that's a fucking son of a bitch. Like all these things I've done, I'm like, yeah, I did it.
Yeah, but see, when you say you did it,
Yeah.
you're not that you.
That's what I mean. That's what
Hey,
I
how
was
are
saying.
you? Yeah, good.
Yeah, just sort of going into that. I was like,
Yeah, I'm not that you.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, oh.
See, when you say you did it,
Yeah.
you're not that you.
Yeah.
That's where the relief is.
That's what I was just getting a little bit of, I wasn't getting any relief before because that wasn't coming through.
Exactly. The relief is you not you.
Yeah.
You're not the you that believes it did it.
Exactly.
Yes?
Yeah.
See, the you that's produced cannot not believe it did it because it believes it's the doer.
Yeah.
Yeah? We run into this in recovery where the first step says you are powerless over alcohol and drugs, let's say.
Yeah.
So let's say if I'm dancing with a gorilla, I'm going to stop when the gorilla wants to stop. That would be like powerlessness, yes?
Yeah.
So get it. All right, I'm powerless. So in other words, when I was under the influence, I was apt to do almost anything. Yet now that you get sober, the mental state is harvesting tons of guilt and shame for all the shit it did while it was loaded.
Yeah.
You're not getting relief from the original addiction, which is to being the doer.
Yeah.
So the doer is still claiming to be the doer when it was so obvious you were apt to do anything at all when you were loaded. Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the story doesn't, through historical observation, it doesn't convince it otherwise, because it's programming. The programming of self is it's the doer, the seer, the feeler, the taster, the toucher. You can present tons of evidence to try to convince it. You see, this is the dilemma. If you try to talk to the doer and convince it that it's not the doer, it doesn't go anywhere. You're trying to fuck its source code. It doesn't go anywhere. When you try to talk to the person and say, there is no free will. Oh yeah, sure. When I'm at the retreat, I can, oh yeah, but then, I was going to buy a mocha, but I bought a double fucking shot latte. Now, there you go. Your whole 2 weeks of not being the doer or self-will's blown out of the water. Don't waste time working on what you're not. Yeah? If it has an inability to live out here, there's ways of life, there's skillful means that can allow it to get to a point where it's not attracting fucking undue attention from authorities, yeah? So we can sort of live a life, yes? Fucking, this is not a chariot of the gods. It's a Toyota, yeah? You're not polishing a Toyota 14 hours. You get it working, and therefore you ride it, you drive it, yes? That's what I feel. So when people are trying to talk to me, like, I used to be involved in the course, and I knew the body was the problem, identification body. So we used to chant, I am not a body, I am free, because I am just as God created me, for 3 days. But then I realized the only thing that would chant, I'm not a body, is the body. It's the body identification that wants to get out of being a body. What? Yeah. That's a rude awakening. Saved me a huge amount of time. It did. What wants to get out of you isn't you. It's wanting to get out of you is reinforcing a huge assumption that it's in you. How do you think it verifies the in by wanting to get out? You don't see it? It's like an animal. It has moves. You see the moves and then you recognize it. Yeah? And when you recognize it, it hits you as, I'm not that. You let it be all it ever wanted to be as you, and you see it's not. When you're trying to deny it, it's more of you. When you allow it to fucking do whatever it's doing and take a look at it, you see you're not that. And then that's that. Yeah? That which wants to get out of self is self. It's not self, it's selfing. I don't like to use a noun. The selfing is constantly attempting to get out of selfing. That's how it reinforces its reality. Yeah? Yeah. It's like being here. All the exit signs are an entrance, really. Yeah? When you're trying to get out of you, you're more in you than ever. If you try to lose interest in it, that's interest in it. If you want to get real subtle, like in non-duality things, you're trying to be a non-self as a self. You want to get some non-self attributes and put it on you so that you travel better. Non-duality isn't a skillful means. It can be very skillful and produce a lot of effects, but it can't be fucking wielded by what you're not. It doesn't work. If you try to use it, it's fucking not going to work. Yeah, that's the beauty of it. It won't give what you're not an inch. It's just an unadorned fact. There is no two. Yeah, that's that. Yeah. Good to see you. All's well? Yeah. Remember, don't even try to understand this shit. The spiritual subpoena has been served. Yeah, yeah. And I have total faith in the court system. I do. I've seen it tons of times. Yeah. The message is already there. This is just we're really trying to send you around the corner for a half an hour so that something can get laid, because what you are knows exactly what we're saying. Yeah, it's very, very clear. Don't try to convince what you're not. Yeah, no. Just see what you're not from what you are instead of looking for what you are from what you're not. Really, it's just a switcheroo. They're both seemingly happening. One is a timeless condition, the other is a time condition. In time, you can be what you are looking for itself. But in the timelessness, it's what you are looking at what you're not. Yeah. All right, well, that's it. We'll pass the basket here. Right.